Hello and welcome to this lecture, and in this lecture we are going to talk about the secret sauce, which is going to be the determining factor in your Android application success. So depending upon this sauce, actually the entire success of your application is going to be based on, because a lot of companies are actually paying to this metric or this thing as compared to any other thing when it comes to success of any application. So if you talk about the commonly used apps, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Google Plus, or anything like that, there is one crucial factor, or you could say one determining factor, which contributes to the app success, and that factor is nothing but user engagement. So let's understand first what exactly user engagement is, and then we will talk about how we could go ahead and improve the user engagement. So the user engagement is nothing but it's the amount of time user spends on your application. So let's say you have your application, you have the user. So essentially how much time the user is going to spend in your application is going to determine if your application is going to be successful or not. So let's first understand why the user engagement is a crucial factor in determining an application success. First, we will go ahead and discuss why most of the applications fail. So like every developer, if you launch your best application on the Play Store, what usually happens is that your end user or your consumer likes the app, he installs your application, he is going to use your application once or twice mostly, and then he's going to never come back again, and eventually he uninstalls it. If you don't actually believe this thing, then check for yourself how many times you have downloaded an application just to know that it's a good application and you have not used it frequently enough. So what you went ahead and do is that you actually went ahead and deleted that application from your phone, and that app now absolutely is gone forever and you don't even remember it. So this happens all the time, and the main reason why this actually happens is because of the user engagement level. So what we need to do first is that how to make your app engaging and how to make users come back again, because unless and until the users are actually coming back again, it's going to be difficult for you to generate revenue of your application. Because always remember, any application which you are going to build, unless and until the user is actually going to use it on a daily basis, your application is not going to make much money, whether it's a paid app or it's an application monetized with ads. Because if you want to display ads on your application, there needs to be a high user engagement so that you could receive some amount of views on your ads, which are going to generate the revenue for you. So let's first understand how to make users come back again. So let's take an example of the most famous application, which is Facebook. So let's first understand how Facebook makes us come back. So if you could notice this icon, this is the notification icon, which is quite different than Facebook, but I've just taken this thing as an example. And notification is one thing which makes you want to come back again and again. So the first thing which you do always while you log in into the Facebook app or on the website is you check for this icon, and as soon as you check this icon, it gives you a feeling of satisfaction. So why exactly are notifications so effective? And there are two words for this, that is reward mechanism. So our brain actually releases a small amount of feel-good chemicals when we get a notification, and that is because we always expect new from something, and whenever something pops up as a notification, our mind gets a signal that somebody has reacted to our post or a comment, or somebody has liked our picture. So the entire mechanism of the notification apps works because we actually feel rewarded when we get a notification. And that is what makes us want to come back more, because once you have a notification, once you close up the app, then again when you are offline, your subconscious mind is always going to expect this notification sign when you log back again. So let's take another example of Facebook likes. So Facebook likes work in a similar fashion to that of notification. So we feel rewarded as we get more likes, and that's why people actually go ahead and upload more and more content to Facebook. And when people upload content to the Facebook, obviously other people are going to like it, and as there is going to be more content on Facebook itself, other people's user engagement levels increases as well. And this is how the chain reaction of uploading more content, getting more likes increases, and thereby these things actually increase the user engagement level. So these are actually some psychological things which works with human mind, and I actually wanted to get it out in front of you because this is one most crucial important fact you need to consider while building your application. That is how you are going to make the user come back to your application again and again. So if you have played some games on your Android device, you might notice that some of the games actually offer like thousands of coins for free if you actually come back on the day 1, and 2000 coins if you come back on day 2. And these tactics are actually used to keep you guys hooked to the application, because once the hook is gone, and then 90% chances are he's never ever going to use your application. So let's go ahead and study another contributing factor which is going to determine your application success. So those factors are UI and UX. So UI stands for user interface, that is going to determine how your application looks like, and UX, which is user experience, determines how the user feels when he uses your application. So let's go ahead and understand the difference between the user interface and user interaction, and how to strike a right balance between these two. So this is actually a good example of user interface and user design, or user design and user experience. So as you could see, the architect has designed this footpath, and it's actually plus shaped, but the user feels more convenient walking along that muddy path over there even if the design isn't good. So user experience is how the user is going to use your application irrespective of the design of your application. So what you need to make sure is that not only your app looks better in terms of design, but also it's much simpler because of the design for your user to use your application, which thereby enhances the user experience. So now there are actually 8 things which you need to remember while designing the user interface and user experience for your application, and these 8 things in the human computer interaction field are called as 8 golden rules of UI design. So in order to enhance the user experience and in order to design the best possible user interface, you do need to follow these 8 golden rules, which are going to lay out the foundation of designing your application. So in the next lecture, we are going to go ahead and learn about these 8 golden rules and how do you apply these rules in your application so as to make the best possible user experience and the best possible user interface. So that's it for this lecture, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you.